Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations, but who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
And here's to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
Arararara, my name is Made Kuti and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
Ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on
Well, hello and welcome to the Midday News and Voice of the People Television. I am David Edwin. Before we begin the news, we would urge you to kindly visit our website. It's www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news stories. First, the headlines. National Assembly resumes focus on 58.47 trillion naira budget, electoral reforms. APC dismisses speculation over Shettima'S spot in 2027 election. The DHQ confirms coup attempt, military trial, and indicted officers. Nigeria-Turkey strengthens defense, economic ties. Terrorists kidnap 6 family members in Adamawa governor's hometown. NNPP slams Abba Yusuf's defection to APC as betrayal. In business, NNPCL announces discovery of new oil well in Awodi 07 in Niger Delta. And in sports, former international Nduka Obade calls for investment in Nigerian football and infrastructure. In entertainment, Tony Abraham's Oversabi auntie crosses 1 billion naira at box office, sets Nollywood's record. And now the news in full. The National Assembly will today resume plenary sessions prioritizing the scrutiny of President Bola Tinubu's 58.47 trillion naira 2026 appropriation bill and amendments to Nigeria's electoral laws. The leader of the Senate, Senator Okoyemi Bamidele, disclosed this to newsmen in Abuja, stating that the upper and lower chambers will also expedite work on the review of the 1999 Constitution, aiming to complete it by the first quarter of 2026. Committees in both chambers have begun assessing revenue and expenditure estimates presented by President Bola Tinubu in December 2025. The lawmakers are also focusing on proposed electoral reforms, including recognizing voting rights for eligible prisoners, mandatory electric transmission of results, and stiffer penalties for electoral offenses. Moving on to other stories, the All Progressive Congress, APC, has denied reports suggesting Vice President Kashim Shettima might be replaced as President Bola Tinubu's running mate in the 2027 elections. APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Moka stated the party is focused on governance, not election speculation. Moka, during a media chat, reassured the party's commitment to inclusivity, addressing questions about religious representation. The speculation about Shettima'S potential removal emerges in mid-2025, but APC leadership has repeatedly called it purely speculative, untrue, and utterly baseless. Despite denials, names of potential replacements continue to circulate. In another development, the Defense Headquarters says investigations into the alleged misconduct by some officers have revealed claims of a plot to overthrow the government. It had in October 2025 announced the arrest of 16 officers, ranging from the rank of captain to brigadier general, over acts of indiscipline and breach of service regulations, particularly for allegedly holding secret meetings to topple the government. Former Director of Defense Information Brigadier General Tuko Gusau stated then that the report was intended to create tension and distrust among Nigerians, adding that the matter was strictly a disciplinary issue being handled internally. However, a fresh statement from the new Director of Defense Information, Major General Samaila Uba, said a comprehensive investigation had been conducted in line with established military procedures. According to him, the findings show that some of the officers had cases to answer over allegations of plotting to overthrow the government, and that the report has now been concluded and forwarded to the appropriate superior authority. He added that those indicted would be formally arraigned before relevant military judicial panels in line with the Armed Forces Act and other applicable service regulations to ensure accountability while upholding fairness and due process. Moving on, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has arrived to Kiev for a state visit aimed at strengthening bilateral relations and expanding cooperation in key sectors. However, Nigerians are weighing in on what the trip would mean for the country, with many hoping it will deliver real gains for the economy and national unity, while urging the government to ensure that agreements reached translates into concrete benefits for the citizens. Voice of the People TV's Matthew Ogoswada tells us more in this report.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu has departed Abuja for a state visit to the Republic of Turkey. As part of effort to deepen Nigeria's bilateral relations and expand international cooperation, Presidential spokesperson Bayo Ononuga says the visit is aimed at strengthening ties between both countries in key areas including security, education, innovation, aviation, and social development. The visit is expected to feature high-level political and diplomatic engagements alongside the signing of several memoranda of understanding covering critical sectors such as energy, scientific research, media and communications, as well as military cooperation. As Nigerians weigh the implications of the visit, Voice of the People TV took to the streets to get public opinion on whether this trip will translate into tangible benefits for the country.
Well, him going to Turkey, I feel it's because of business alliances, business-wise, economic-wise. I feel he just wants to go there to get backup and improve our economic sector, definitely, if we actually have that backup and strength again. So that's how I feel.
What I would like to see is a working country, working Nigeria, of course. So the president traveling to Turkey or where, of course, definitely for the benefit of Nigeria.
I think now that at least he's able to see some things that happened in Turkey and learn or get something to come and do or make Nigeria better, business idea or something that can use to improve Nigerian business or economy. Then coming to international relations, you can also form an alliance. Then you might need help from other countries. You know that okay, friends or close or we have this alliance with this country, they can be of help in social area, not just business, even health-wise, economy, other aspects of the country.
As Nigerians express cautious optimism, many say they hope that the visit will deliver real gains, especially in security and the economy, while urging the government to turn agreement into meaningful action. Matthew Ogunswada, reporting for Voice of the People Television.
Away from that report, thank you so very much, Matthew, for that report. But away from that report, Nigeria and Turkey have intensified efforts to deepen military and defense collaboration after high-level talks in Ankara between Foreign Affairs Minister Ambassador Yusuf Tuggar and his Turkish counterpart Hakan Fidan, held ahead of President Bola Tinubu's state visit to Turkey. The talks focus on strengthening political, economic, security, and multilateral cooperation. Tuggar and Fidan reviewed existing bilateral ties and identified new areas for collaboration, underscoring the growing strategic nature of relations between the two countries. The visit aims to solidify shared interests and values, particularly in finance, communication, trade, and investment. Memorandum of Understanding covering scientific research, energy, military cooperation, technical assistance, and media and communication are expected to be signed, while a business forum is also expected to bring together investors from both countries to explore mutual opportunities. Meanwhile, there are reports that says suspected Boko Haram militants have attacked Gare village in Madagali, Adamawa State, abducting 6 family members, including relatives of Governor Amadou Fintiri, early on Tuesday. The State Police Command confirmed the incident, stating that a combined rescue team of police and military is searching for the abducted family members. The attack occurred in Madagali local government area of the state, a region frequently targeted by Boko Haram. Police spokesperson SP Sulaiman Ngungruje stated that Commissioner of Police Dankubo Morris has ordered sustained search and rescue efforts and heightened security measures across Madagali and other border communities. Meanwhile, the new Nigeria People's Party, that's the NNPP, has condemned Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf's defection to the All Progressive Congress, APC, calling it a betrayal of the party and its leader, Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso. NNPP national spokesperson Ladipo Johnson stated during a media chat that the move betrays the trust of Kano State's people who voted the governor into office despite the party's lack of structure in the state. The NNPP secured victory in the state under challenging circumstances. Analysts now say the defection has dealt a significant blow to the party. It should be recalled that Governor Yusuf of Kano State formally resigned from the New Nigeria People's Party, as the NNPP, on Monday, citing what he called deepening internal crisis and prolonged leadership disputes within the party, with 22 lawmakers also leaving the NNPP with him to the All Progressive Congress APC. 8 members of the House of Representatives and 44 council chairmen also defected with him in a move considered a significant boost for the APC, which now controls the Kano State House of Assembly. In the meantime, the former Director General of the Labour Party's Presidential Campaign Council, Akin Oshitokun, has defected to the African Democratic Congress, ADC, citing internal disputes, particularly the court's recognition of the Senator Nenadi Usman-led body as a valid national leadership. Oshitokun said there was still uncertainty in the party as the sacked Julius Aburi-led National Working Committee has decided to appeal the judgment. Meanwhile, the LP National Chairman, Usman, has decried what she called the opposition politicians' unwarranted defections to the ruling All Progressive Congress APC. She insisted that the trend notwithstanding, opposing influence remains strong ahead of the 2027 general elections. According to her, the fact that most state governors now belong to the ruling party does not mean the opposition parties would be irrelevant in the next general election. As the 2027 general elections draw closer, the wave of political leaders defecting from one party to another has sparked widespread debate across the country. From governors to lawmakers, this realignment have left many Nigerians questioning whether they are driven by public interest or personal political survival. Our correspondent in Benin City, Rhoda Johnny, has more in this report.
Elections draw near. Several governors and lawmakers have switched political parties, and Nigerians are watching closely to see whether these moves will bring real improvement to their daily lives. These shifts are part of a broader trend of political realignment across multiple states, with leaders repositioning themselves ahead of elections and reshaping the balance of power. To understand how these affect everyday Nigerians, VOP TV went to the street to hear residents' views.
To affect everything about Nigerian politics is money politics. And why is this so? All this alliance, I'm switching over to this, I'm switching over to this. Definitely there must be promises and there must be, how will I call it, there must be gift for them to do that. For any government or anybody or any House of Reps member that is switching alliance to another party, understand one thing, there is a game plan, and their game plan is what they have planned with their people of their constituency. Because one thing about Nigerian politics, you can see our people now, at this very time, they can be talking, but when that very day for the election come proper, you will not see them on the field. And that is where the game is.
Before they attain to whatever position they are now, they do not have the interest of the commoners in their heart. All what they are pursuing their own personal interest, not the interest of the commoners. And another thing is, the Nigerian politicians, we don't have any political party have any ideology. All the politicians we have in Nigeria is chop and chop. If this political did not favor me, let me go to the other one. That's why I see they're jumping from one party to another. So that's it, because there's no politics of ideology, nothing like that. That's why they are defecting. It's for their own personal interest. They don't even care for the commoners.
It's been a tradition in this country. We don't have a stable party or stable political participants when we want to encourage others to be partisan in one party. When this one is ruling and it's looking better, they are shifting. And I'd like to make an example of the former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar. He's moved from APC to PDP, from PDP first to APC, APC to PDP again, now to ADC. So it's like he's looking for where the grass is greener where he can win. But it doesn't look like somebody who can rule this nation. It's an example of one. I got so discouraged about Obi. I didn't expect Obi to leave the obedience, because people who voted for Obi in the last election, 2023, I guess, were people who are not really APC or PDP. They just make up their mind. They are not even Labour. They just told themselves, no, we love this man. Let's allow him to rule. But now that he's dancing, he's not supposed to leave. For leaving, I think he has killed his political career. My personal opinion, I'm not sure he will make it in ADC.
As the election season progresses, attention remains on these party changes, with people on the streets asking whether the shift will translate into visible improvement in their communities or remain changes on paper. From VOP TV, I am Rhoda Johnny.
Well, thank you so very much, Rhoda, for that report. You're still watching the Midday News right here on Voice of the People Television. We'll go straight to the analysis segment of the news. And joining us now to make sense of these stories that made it to the bulletin and more is in the studio with us, Barrister Darlington Agumo. Barrister is a legal practitioner right here in Nigeria, and also a public and political affairs analyst and commentator. Well, Barrister, a very good afternoon to you, and thank you for joining the conversation.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure.
All right, then, Barrister, let's jump to this conversation of defection. And this is one that is coming so heavy on Nigerians because, again, a lot of us know that political parties are like the tool at which political leaders get into office. As it stands, Barrister, the governor of Kano State, I'm talking about Yusuf, have joined the APC. And of course, with all of his followers, plus House of Representative members, what does this imply for the APC going into the general elections come 2027?
David, it is a very big shame for a country like Nigeria to be behaving like this. We don't have leaders. If these leaders have shame, they will not be behaving like children. Seriously. We don't have a democracy. When we have a democracy, you will see the difference.
How do you mean, Barrister?
How do you mean this thing you are seeing today? Is that how democracy is run outside here? In Senate climes, is that how democracy is run?
Well, if these political leaders
that you are going to force somebody to move from his own party to your own party after discussion with him. Did you even see the drama that followed that defection? Yeah? When Tinubu was here to arrive, he said the man should wait for him in Aso Rock. And this man left his state and stayed in Aso Rock for 2 days waiting for Tinubu. And when he came back, they now went into closed-door meeting. And conditions were made. Can you imagine? In a democracy, you are making condition. Making condition. You are not even minding the people that voted you in the first instance.
But then again, Barrister, the governors were not forced. They were not coerced. They just chose to join the ruling APC. So isn't that a decision they made, and the decision should be on them, not on the presidency, as it were?
From all indication, most of them were induced.
Induced
they
were
what? Induced. Because all the people that are jumping into APC, they are going into that party with baggages. They are carrying baggages. So why would you admit somebody who has a case with the EFCC, who has a case going on in court? Why would you admit somebody into your party who is alleged to have stolen money, who is alleged to be corrupt? So that will tell you what is going on. None of them entered into that party with their clear mind. It's not possible. Because you join into a party that is performing. A party you can beat your chest and say, yes, this party for once. So what is that thing that's making them to run into APC? I need to know. Maybe when they tell us, we'll now interrogate it. But of course, there is nothing to tell, nothing. It's just about the money, nothing.
All right, then. Well, Barrister, concerns also have been raised about the fact that the PDP, I'm talking about the People's Democratic Party, has reduced to just 4 governors. A party that in 1999 to 2000s and all was just the biggest party in Africa. Barrister, they're left with 4 governors, and I'm talking about the Adamawa State Governor, the Bauchi State Governor, Shettima'S for your state, and of course, Zamfara State Governor, the person of Dauda Lawal. Looking at the fact that, yes, 4 PDP governors are still remaining, 1 Accord Party in Osun State, and of course, Labour Party in Abia State. The APC seems like a party to be wrestled against come 2027. Don't you think so?
It looks like, but the contest is between APC and Nigerian people, because the ball is now in the court of Nigerians.
You think that's what is going to turn out to be?
That is what, because there's no party again to challenge them. No, there's no party. So we are left with only the people and the APC party. That is where the contest will be. Because right now, there is no strong opposition to oppose the APC. None. None. And that is very sad.
All right, then. But let me just stay in Kano, Barrister. The New Nigeria People's Party has condemned the Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf's defection to the All Progressive Congress. In fact, they call it a betrayal to the party's leader and, of course, to the party that brought him into power. This statement, some have said, is coming from a sore loser in the party, of course, that the man defected from. What do you make of this kind of statement, owing to the fact that, yes, even the said leader, I'm talking about Rabi Kwankwaso, is still at the verge of becoming an ADC member, of course, joining the coalition. Is there a possibility that the NNPP might choose to join the coalition should Rabi Kwankwaso find his way into the ADC?
There is no other way to go. If Kwankwaso does not join the ADC, then he will remain in the limbo.
I mean, he had a very rousing welcome back home when he went back home.
But now he's like a general without troops behind him.
He still has his troop, Barrister.
I don't think so.
He still has his troop.
Those are just
from footages that we saw the last time when he went home, Barrister, that is huge.
Why couldn't he hold his own party? He couldn't control the governor he put in place. He couldn't control his own governor. The man just shoved it in his face and then moved over to APC. So he's like a spent force now. That's what he looked like. Unfortunately, that's what happens when you have leaders who don't have principle. Remember this Kwakwanso have not with Aso Rock. Immediately Tinubu was sworn in. He was looking for a way to either get appointment or something. When it did not work, he came back and was looking for a platform to be a governor. Before you can give conditions, please, you must bring something to the table. The last time I checked, Kwakwanso only brought 1 million people, and those are from Kano. He is not a political heavyweight as such to run on his own.
All right, then. Let's move from there on and, of course, bring up this report. Barrister, there are reports that say some suspected Boko Haram militants attacked a village. I'm talking about the Gari village in Madagali local government area in Adamawa State, abducting 6 family members, a relative of the governor himself, Governor Ahmedu Fintiri, of course, of the PDP as well. Barrister, looking at these level of insecurity that has gotten to the point of relatives of the governor, how much of a disturbing situation are we having in our hands? Plus, the fact that Amnesty International just yesterday did say that the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration is not totally willing to letting these level of insecurity die down a natural death. Barrister, what do you make of this?
The only thing I make of it is that if this trajectory is not halted, Nigeria is going to hit a very big rock. We are heading to the doomsday. Because this level of insecurity cannot continue and you want to make progress in Nigeria. It is not possible. There is no country that moves forward in the face of what? Insecurity. As I talk to you now, all the farm seed in the north are literally empty. People can't go to farm in the north today. Is that not a huge problem? Is that not why foodstuffs are very costly?
Some are even paying bandits to get into their farm.
Sorry?
Some are even paying bandits to get into their farm.
Of course, yeah. That is, and if you don't have money, you're on your own. If you don't have money, you're on your own, in your own country. To make matters what? The leader of these terrorists is even a Nigerian. Somebody from Niger called Troju Bello, who is holding court in Nigeria, and the government is looking at him. The security agents are looking at him. The allegation now is that he has an APC card with his picture and everything there.
Oh, the barrister, that is still unfounded anyways.
I said rumor, yes, right. Allegation. Why should he even get to that point? Why should he get to that point? If this man had been taken out long ago, can we be talking about this now?
Barrister, security chiefs have been rejigged, and we're still having this situation. In fact, the president did say, give a marching order to the new security chiefs that, look, Nigerians would not take any excuses from you. Get to work and hit the ground running. How much of an impact of that statement are we having even in the security situation of Nigeria, owing to the fact that the security chiefs have been rejigged?
The generals are not obeying their commander-in-chief. They are not up to their game. They are not, seriously. Because if it is Nigerian army of you, the Nigerian army that went to Liberia, went to Sierra Leone to take care of things there, we will not get to at a point where Donald Trump has to come and bomb some parts of Nigeria to bring sanity. We will not go to that point. The Nigerian military would have taken care of this thing. And nobody will even think of Donald Trump or all the things he said about us. But because this particular army has been politicized, they have been politicized, so they are now looking for what they will eat, not what to do, not what they will do. That's what the Nigerian army of today are doing. Money. The real combatants are complaining that their daily money is not getting to them. Their line managers are holding it. What does that tell you? If you're a good general, should your troops be complaining, you will take care of them before any other thing. But right now, they are telling us that their 1,500 naira a day, this thing is not getting to them. Then who is with it? Is it not somebody? That is what these people are doing in that place.
All right, then. Well, we hope that the situation within the security apparatus get better from here on, because, I mean, this is just what we have as Nigerians hope. But Barrister, let's move to another conversation. The president of the Federation is in Turkey, and interestingly, as the story came to us, we understand that the president was received in Ankara, in the Ankara-Bulgar airport by a Turkish government delegation led by the Minister of National Education, Yusuf Tekin, the Charge of Affairs of the Nigerian Embassy in Turkey, Ambassador Zayed Abdul Salam, and other embassy officials were also on ground to welcome the president. But that's not where I'm going anyways. Interestingly, as it stands, Barrister, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, I'm talking about Ambassador Yusuf Toga and his Turkish counterpart, Hakan Fidan, ahead of that particular visit, have held talks, particularly on the part of strengthening political and economic and security multilateral cooperation between the both countries. The part that gets to me is the economy. How much of economic conversation can Yusuf Toga, the Foreign Affairs Minister, have that the Minister of the Economy, I'm talking about Wale Edun, cannot have with the same person? Barrister.
Now, David, if you have a problem, are you not supposed to go to a place where that problem will be solved? Even in international relationship and all that. Is the Turkey the best place to go to in this situation? When you and I have heard stories about Turkey and how he has been funding the Boko Haram, supplying them logistics and all that. Not just Boko Haram in Nigeria, all over the world. That particular country has been fingered as a terrorist sponsor. and we have a situation of terrorism in Nigeria. So should the Tinubu go there to seek for help? Please tell me. And what is it that is in Turkey that you and I should go to? You know how Turkey was hijacked by the jihadis. It was a purely Christian state. They hijacked it. They hijacked it and converted everybody by force. So is that the best person to go to seek for help in a volatile Nigeria that is divided? What makes you think that Turkey...
Or they're economically better than Nigeria, Barrister?
Which economy? Have they survived the earthquake that hit them the other day?
They are economically better than Nigeria.
That is what you think.
That's the fact, Barrister.
That's what you think. Personally, I don't think that Turkey is well enough to be our assistant to Nigeria. Based on what is going on, based on what Turkey is doing, they would naturally take side with their brothers in Nigeria. And who are the egghead of this insecurity? Is it not the Muslim faithfuls and their followers? Are they not the ones? So what exactly will Turkey do that will be of benefit to Nigeria? Remember that Sheikh Gumi, that is equally his rallying point. He cannot go to Saudi Arabia, but he can go to Turkey.
Oh, well, so much to be said because, yes, the president has spent 9 days outside Nigeria since 2026 began. Question that a lot of Nigerians are hoping that it will benefit Nigeria as the year go by. This is where we have to draw anchor on the analysis.
And please, David,
yes.
You see an America with all their power and everything trying to help you. Have you finished with the discussion you are having with America before you run to Turkey, for God's sake?
But it's still ongoing.
What America came to do in Nigeria, can Turkey do it? Did they have the capacity to do it? No, tell me, do they have the capacity? You are just, I don't know. America may even be suspecting you now. Because what is that help you need when it comes to this that America cannot render to you? What is that thing?
But in terms of help, Barrister, do you think that Nigeria should just stay with America and not have other bilateral relations with other countries?
There is no need. It's just the one you have with America. How many countries are going to help you here? By the way, have you helped yourself? Why are you running from one country to the other looking for help? Have you helped yourself?
Oh, well, Barrister.
Well, in fact, this is becoming an embarrassment, seriously.
We're really out of time, Brad.
You're an embarrassment.
This is where we have to draw anchor on the analysis segment of the media news. We had with us to analyze the stories Barrister Darlington Agumo, who is a legal practitioner right here in Nigeria and also a public and political affairs analyst and commentator. Once again, thank you so very much, Barrister, for being here.
My pleasure.
We'll take a very short break right now. When we return, more stories on the media news will be up next. Please do stay with us. Glad to have you back. And it's still the media news right here on Voice of the People Television. Now to more stories. Nigerians are already turning attention to the 2027 general elections as many Nigerians troop out to begin the process of obtaining or updating their permanent voters' cards. However, what should have been a smooth exercise has turned challenging for some registrants in Ogun State. Our correspondent, Oyinda Mola Olukuto, reports that due to network issues and accessibility concerns slowing down the process, several people said they were asked to return to Ifo to complete the process.
And to the registration center in Ojokoro was unusually busy early in the morning as men and women gathered in large numbers, determined to secure their voter registration ahead of the 2027 election. For many, the decisions to come out early was driven by the desire to avoid last-minute rush and ensure that civil rights are protected.
Actually, this is not my first time. What happened was that my former card was damaged. So that's why I came for to get another card. That's why I'm here. What I always saw here now was that it's like the route is not well organized. No, I can't blame the officials, so I'll blame we Nigerians. The way we do things, at times we don't normally organize ourselves, at least as in proper conduct. When you are being informed, okay, form a line so that everything can go smoothly. People will refuse. Orderliness is what we are lacking mostly. Here, you know what I can say. We lack orderliness. For people to just organize and be in orderliness. Okay, form a group, become a problem. Before you people just, somebody like just come, you meet people like 100 people that you will like at least to bypass everything. What I would say is, Nigerians will always like to, what is a shortcut? We always look for shortcut to everything. That's the truth.
But despite the early turnout, the process was not without difficulty. Some registrants, particularly those who had traveled from Ogun State, said they were asked to return to Ifo to complete their registration due to network challenges and usually linked to non-accessibility of the system. Others expressed surprise at the crowd, recalling that previous registration exercise were more seamless with little or no stress.
Wọ́n ṣe photostat registration base. Ó wà okay, ó wà successful. Kò sí ìyẹn bẹ̀. Sí kankan bẹ̀rẹ̀ rárá. Ó wà ó tẹ̀ wà interested. Ó wà tún ní ká lọ ṣe photostat so that a lè mú àti wọ́n ti fẹ́ gba oníke so that a lè wà okay.
While the enthusiasm to participate in the electoral process appears strong, today's experience highlights the need for improved logistics and technical support to ensure citizens are not discouraged from exercising their voting rights. Oyindamola Olukuto, reporting for Voice of the People TV.
Thank you so very much, Oyindamola, for that report. Moving on to other stories, there are reports that says that the Onitsha main market, reputed to be the biggest in West Africa, has been shut down for 1 week by Governor Shettima'S of Anambra State. The action follows repeated defiance by traders at the popular markets in the state who failed to open for business despite a government warning to disregard a sit-at-home order imposed by non-state actors. Our correspondent in Anambra State, Ndo Paloize, who has been monitoring compliance with the government directive, has a detailed report.
Today, to enforce compliance with the state directive against the controversial Monday sit-at-home order, said the 1 week closure of Onitsha main market will be extended to a month if the traders fail to open by next Monday.
As I'm speaking to you now, when I finish this whole main market and all the adjoining these things will be locked down for the whole of this week. There will be no market anywhere here. Each Monday will come. If people are not in their respective shops, it will be shut down again. If you like, I don't mind shutting down main market for the remainder of this year. We're not going to allow this. It's plain economic sabotage. And also we suspect whoever closes their shop to have some criminal intent.
While speaking to VOP TV News on the development, Anambra State Commissioner for Information, Dr. Law Mefo, quantified economic losses to Anambra in particular and Southeast in general in trillions of naira. Mefo said the insecurity and other factors for the sit-at-home no longer exist.
An independent peer review agency looked at the economic implications of sit-at-home to the Southeast, particularly to Anambra, and it was in excess of 1 to 2 trillion. That's a lot for a state. So our socio-economic life has been under siege for these 3 to 4 years and needed to stop.
However, mixed reactions from netizens praised Soludo's order, with some terming it harsh and others seeing it as a bold step in the right direction. For Chibuzo Nwabue, this is an extreme approach that in itself amounts to economic wastage. He argues that traders are independent practitioners that are not directly controlled like government employees. Kene Umade, however, supports Soludo in his approach, regretting that the markets and banks are fueling the sit-at-home observance. Meanwhile, public servants in all ministries, departments, and agencies in Anambra State reported to work in full today. VOP TV news crew, which monitored compliance at Jerome Udoji Secretariat in Oka today, witnessed workers of all grade levels seated in their various offices and attending to work. Car park in the premises of the Secretariat was filled to brim official and private vehicles belonging to the workforce. According to the State Information Commissioner MEFO, salaries starting from February will be pro rata, with no pay at all for the number of Mondays one decided to absent himself or herself from duties. Ndo Obaleze, VOP TV News.
Well, thank you so very much, Ndo, for that report. Moving on to other stories. Aloy Ejimako has told Governor Charles Soludo of Anambra State that the continued observance of the already rested Monday sit-at-home order is evidence of the Southeast region's unhappiness with the travails of the imprisoned leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Kanu is currently serving a life sentence for terrorism in a Sokoto prison after a long custody in the Department of State Services, DSS, following what some legal experts and IPOB qualify as illegal rendition from Kenya. Reacting in a post on X to the Onitsha market shutdown, Ejimako, who was counsel to Kanu, described the observance of the sit-at-home order as the best evidence of the people's unhappiness, adding that it will end instantly on its own once Kanu is freed. And from that story, we'll move straight to talking business, where the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPCL, has announced the discovery of a new oil well, Awudi 07, in the shallow offshore western Niger Delta region. The well was drilled by Chevron Nigeria Limited, operator of the NNPC Limited CNL joint venture, as part of efforts to unlock hydrocarbon potential. The disclosure was contained in a statement issued by NNPC's Chief Corporate Communications Officer, Andy O'Day, and published on the company's website. According to the statement, drilling activities commenced in late November 2025 and concluded in mid-December 2025, with results confirming significant hydrocarbons across multiple reservoirs zones. NNPC Limited congratulated CNL on the successful drilling, praising the joint venture operational excellence and technical competence. The discovery is expected to boost the joint venture confidence in the assets and contributes to Nigeria's energy security. The partnership also aims to increase oil production to 146,000 barrels per day, supporting government revenue and job creation. Still talking business, the Nigerian Customs Services has reported a total revenue collection of 7.281 trillion naira for 2025, representing a year-on-year growth of 19%. Disclosing this during the 2026 International Customs Day celebration in Abuja, the Controller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, said the figure surpasses the agency's 6.584 trillion naira target and reflected discipline, enforcement, improved compliance, digitalization, and collaboration with the private sector. Adeniyi said the event also marked the official launch of the Nigeria Time Release Study, that's the TRS, which he described as a comprehensive diagnostic tool designed to assess and improve trade clearance efficiency at Nigerian ports. According to him, TRS, which was conducted by Atinkan Island Port, provides validated clearance timelines for over 600 declarations, identifying bottleneck and idle periods that slow down government's movement. And from business, we'll move straight to sports, where former Nigerian footballer Nduka Obade has expressed and emphasized the need for deliberate investments in football development and infrastructure, stating that raw talent is no longer sufficient to excel in global competitions. He pointed to Morocco and Senegal as examples of countries with successful long-term plans and world-class facilities. Obade stressed that Nigeria requires structured development to transform talent into sustainable value, highlighting Senegal's progress in hosting tournaments and building facilities. He warned that hosting major tournaments demands serious preparations beyond football. Ogbade urged Nigeria to invest in infrastructure such as roads, stadiums, and training facilities, adopting a long-term strategy to enhance Nigeria's football's global competitiveness. Still talking football and sports, I beg your pardon. Consultant neuropathologist at Queen Elizabeth University Hospital in Glasgow, Professor Willie Stewart, has linked repeated headings of footballs to progressive brain disease. His finding follows an inquest into the death of former Scotland defender Frank McQueen, who was diagnosed with vascular dementia and died in 2023, aged 70. An inquest held in Northampton, North Yorkshire, concluded with a narrative verdict on Monday. Stewart, who explained McQueen's brain after his death, told the inquest that chronic traumatic encephalopathy was present in multiple areas of the brain and that a membrane within the brain appeared torn. According to him, CTE contributed to his death significantly, with the only available causal evidence for the condition being repeatedly head impacts, specifically from heading a football. And to wrap up the midday news, we go straight to talking entertainment. Nigerian actress and filmmaker Tony Abraham has achieved a milestone with her directorial debut over Sabi Auntie, becoming the first Nollywood filmmaker to cross the $1 billion threshold. A comedy which Abraham produced and starred in has grossed 1.02 billion naira, ranking as the fourth highest earning Nollywood movie. Obasabi Auntie follows story of overzealous church usher whose interference in family matters triggers comedic events. Abraham's achievements places her second behind Funke Akindele, who has 3 films grossing over 1 billion naira each. The film is poised to overtake Akindele's Everybody Loves Jennifer, which stands at 1.12 billion naira. And with that entertainment story, we've come to the end of our midday news right here on Voice of the People Television. Do also subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we're at Voice of the People TV, and on all other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. Thank you so very much for being a part of this broadcast. I am David Edwin. Do have a good afternoon.
When you say, make Nigeria no happen to you, me sef go say, make you no happen to Nigeria.
You dey bypass your light meter. You dey jump queue.
Yet, you dey wait make Nigeria change for you. My brother, my sister, you sef change.
Oh yeah. See that Naija pikin wey pack dirty wey block gutter wey dey cause flood.
Abba, Naija pikin, make we dey care for our environment.
Gen Zs no wan work, na quick cash dem dey find.
Just like that, boys don turn Pablo, and girls?
Hablets.
Wetin dey happen?
We dey argue online, spread fake news with our full chest. Divide ourselves on top religion, tribe, and politics matter.
But we go dey shout, no unity for Naija.
My brother, my sister, unity begins with you.
Some wan japa, nobody wan stay.
But who go fix Naija if no be you?
Omo, you go stay o.
Naija dey wait for us same way we dey wait for Naija. That's why National Orientation Agency don bring this better ogbonge plan wey go change the game. That na 7 for 7 agenda. 7 promises from leaders, and 7 citizen codes.
Equality, democracy, entrepreneurship, employment, peace and security, inclusivity, justice, meritocracy. Now the Niger promises.
But without our own discipline, duty of care and tolerance, respect and true leadership, transparency we all need, environmental awareness, resiliency no go walk.
7 promises, them don't talk 'em. 7 codes, now we go do 'em all. No they wait, no they look face, join body make we run the race. Now you and me, now you and me, now you and me, go fix our Niger.
Leave bribery, wash your hands. Come up from my go ways.
Talk true when you see 'em. Security